will get that automatic promotion to League A. But before we decipher that, we have to play through our first one, and it's a very important one. Antigua and Barbuda have never been relegated to League C in their Nations League history. They have to try to avoid it today by scoring more than at least a goal. For Dominica, they want to make absolutely sure that that fate doesn't befall them at full time today. Players trying to stay loose under what is really a pressure-packed final group stage match in League B in general, not just here in Group D. We're excited to see how it all is going to play out here in the Dominican Republic this afternoon, and we're really excited that we've got a double dip of very important games here to finish out what's been a wonderful window in the Concacaf Nations League. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll have the procession of the two teams in just a moment, followed by the national anthems, the lineups, and the kickoff in this all-important Group D finale in the Concacaf Nations League, League B.
Damas y caballeros, demos la bienvenida a la Liga de Naciones de Concacaf 2024-2025 a los equipos de Antigua Barbuda y Dominica. A continuación, escuchamos las notas del himno nacional de Antigua y Barbuda. A continuación, damas y caballeros, vamos a escuchar el himno nacional de Dominica.
Now, a great rendition of both countries' national anthems before this all-important group stage finale in the Concacaf Nations League. It means a lot, pretty much means everything to both of these respective countries' campaigns and where they're going to be playing in the Concacaf Nations League going into next season's edition. Again, Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, it's a double-header to wrap up League B Group D play in this season's Concacaf Nations League. For Antigua and Barbuda, under Neil Jeffers and his tutelage today, this is the starting lineup. Daryl Massacott, I should say, and Quentin Griffith, very, very key to the attacking group for Antigua and Barbuda today. Dion Pereira and Raheem Dennerville were strong last time out against Bermuda. And the likes of Antonio Morgan and Reneba Cordes will be important in defense alongside the goalkeeper, Taj Moore. Timothy Derry of Trinidad and Tobago is our head official. Cuba and Haiti also represented amongst our on-field officials. And just in case you need a reminder, as the two captains meet in the center, there is no VAR. Quentin Griffith is the captain for Antigua and Barbuda. Glenson Prince is the captain and the starting goalkeeper for Ellington Sabin's group for Dominica, or in the driver's seat coming into today as far as avoiding relegation down to League C. They can get the proper result behind this 11. They will be safe and stay in League B for another season. Troy Jules, Julian Wade, and Brielle Thomas, all key in the attack. Fitzjolly, Marcus Bredas, and Jamal Prosper, also important players to watch in that midfield group. Prince is in goal, and the back line is led by Eustace Marshall. Well, Dominica made some waves a few months ago, if you will, in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Nearly came back from 3-0 down to stun Jamaica in a World Cup qualifier a few months back during the summer months. But in the Concacaf Nations League, they just have the one victory in their pocket. It could be enough to keep them from being relegated to League C, for whence they once came. And of course, for Antigua and Barbuda, they've never been to League C. It's been League B throughout their time in the Concacaf Nations League. Have to win, have to beat Dominica by at least 2 goals. That is the marker, the goal, if you will, for Neil Jeffers and his side. We saw Antigua and Barbuda just 4 days ago, and they almost came back to get a stunning draw against Bermuda. And a little bit of an awkward moment here in the opening seconds. Antigua and Barbuda are going from left to right here. Almost gave it away. But almosts and nearlies are not going to matter much today if Antigua and Barbuda cannot get the job done. For Dominica, they would take another season in League B after the tough beginning to this group stage, and they're on the defense here. And they're having to clear this out for an early corner, and Neil Jeffers likes what he sees in the opening stages. Again, Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, thrilled to have you with us. First of 2 today in the Concacaf Nations League, League B play. Of course, one of the reasons Antigua and Barbuda are in this potential position here of staying alive is because the Dominican Republic did them a bit of a favor in the last match day. They took care of Dominica rather comfortably, and that goal differential was brought down enough to make it interesting today. Very interesting, in fact. On the edge of the penalty area, the shot is going to take a couple of blocks, and it goes out for another corner to Antigua and Barbuda. Now for Dominica, you may have been able to make the argument that they were safe going into that game against the Dominican Republic, from relegation that is, but because of the lopsided defeat, they are now very much in a precarious position today. It's just 1 goal that separates the two in the goal differential category. Antigua and Barbuda coming in to the day's action. Again, they don't have any points to their name, but they're on a minus 13 goal differential. Dominica are on 3 points. It's minus 12 with the goal differential. And the Dominican Republic are a big reason why that's the case. Another ball played back across. Another deflection and another clearance for Dominica defensively. Dominica have had a couple of lopsided defeats, couple of 6-1 defeats, in fact. And of course, the one win that Dominica has in the group was their first game in the group against Antigua and Barbuda, all the way back in September. Offside flag is going to go up here, and the sequence for Dominica is negated. It was on the second pass, not the first one. Well spotted by our assistant referee on the far side. And now maybe a chance for Antigua and Barbuda to burst forward up the other end. That's a lovely little layoff, and on the edge of the penalty area, no close control, and it is going to be cleared away. Loose touch. Dominica are able to clear it. Maxime, Marshall, Bonnie, all going to be important at the back. Marcus Bredas and company as well in the midfield. Especially in a game like this, where the margins in the goal differential are so tight. The first goal, you would think, could be a very telling moment in the match. Ooh, that was a late challenge. Brielle Thomas didn't pull out in time as far as his boot was concerned and gives away the free kick. Can Dominica run it up the other end here? Oh, it's a good early ball in behind. 1v1 with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's rounded. And the shot's into the side netting. How quickly Dominica could have taken complete command of the match there. Looks like it was Julian Wade. It was just onside. Got past the goalkeeper, but from a tough angle, couldn't put it on target. He nearly pushed Antigua and Barbuda towards the exits, down to League C. Any goal from Dominica early on here would really put Antigua and Barbuda in a difficult spot. Any goal that Dominica scores, you have to add one more goal on top of what Antigua and Barbuda already have to score, which is 2. And again, we should mention, of course, that that is the total amount of goals they've scored in the group phase to this point. So it's already tough enough for Neil Jeffers' group. But they're in behind here. And there's an extra man over. Antigua and Barbuda need the goal, but they can't get it. Positive build-up play. However, the shot was fizzed over the top by Daryl Massicot, who scored a worldie last time out against Bermuda. He tried to fire one on target here, but he blasted over the top. Again, tight angle. Well, I'm sure any neutrals tuning into this one would love more of that. End-to-end sequence, chances for either side. And we could have another one here. It's nudged in behind. The early shot is flashed wide. In a blink, another chance goes begging. Well, this was as direct as it gets. Little headed flick over the top. Antigua and Barbuda were caught out, but Taj Moore sees it fly past his far post. I have to say, one of the lineup notes coming in is that Taj Moore hasn't had a ton of play in this tournament yet. Is he going to have to make a save here? No, it bounces around. Antigua and Barbuda just about clear it. There was also a faint handball appeal in there, but it would have gone against Dominica. Well, it has been an active 8 minutes, to say the least. First time ball into the penalty area, and it needed a better flick. Actually comes off a defender in the end. It's going to be a corner. That was Eustace Marshall. We highlighted him earlier. His importance today cannot be overstated for a Dominica side that, yes, might be ahead of Antigua and Barbuda, but it's a side that have also struggled defensively at this tournament. Have to shore up some of those things today, you would think. From the corner, it's going to be a second try here for Antigua and Barbuda. It's a lovely little drag by Pereira. And Dion Pereira is closed down. Another corner upcoming. Well, we talked about the goal differential. To be fair to Antigua and Barbuda, they've actually conceded fewer goals than Dominica at this tournament. Dominica actually lead the group in goals conceded with 18. It's been the goals that they've been able to score that kept them away from the relegation zone. And from the corner here, Prince all over it and sends Dominica into the attacking third potentially with a clearance. High bounce as well. Again, Antigua and Barbuda have to be careful here. And there was a nudge and a push off from Julian Wade. That negates the sequence. It's the extension of the right arm. It goes back to Antigua and Barbuda in possession. Drew. Resets for Antigua and Barbuda. Had an unfortunate own goal. Ended up costing Antigua and Barbuda all 3 points in the long term. Last time we saw them. Should mention, just for context, that he really did have to try to get a touch onto it. For all he knew, it was going to go in, and it was very tight. It would have potentially hit the post, and as we all know, after that, it could go anywhere. It was a bit of an unfortunate moment, but the other part that was tough to swallow was the fact that it ended up being a difference-making moment in the game. From the set piece here, Dominica doing everything they can to make sure no one gets a touch on it for Antigua and Barbuda, but it's at the expense of a corner on the far side. Quentin Griffith, who's had some big moments. Antigua and Barbuda was the closest to it. Raheem Detterville's been a player who's been able to create some opportunities for Antigua and Barbuda, and he beats the goalkeeper, but the header goes wide of the target. Oh my goodness. Well, Glenson Prince completely misread the flight of the ball. And I think it was Allen at the back stick. He's the one that looks the most frustrated. It ended up being a free header with no one guarding the net. Those are chances that Antigua and Barbuda have to put on target. They will get another corner. And the referee's trying to make sure that it's not too physical inside the penalty area, though Thomas James Bramble is right on the goalkeeper's hip. Another opportunity at the back post. This time Dominica had it covered. Another re-entry on the cross. It comes up short. Morgan picks up the pieces. And it's helped along down this near side. And it's going to be another corner, is it? No, it's going to come back off of Antigua and Barbuda. Out for a goal kick. Dannon Francis trying to make up the ground, but could not get the set piece this time. Again, some real opportunities here over these last couple of minutes. Vashami Allen in particular. He redirects it on target. I don't think the goalkeeper gets back to it. And that would have put Dominica in a very, very nervy spot. But can they help themselves out at the other end? Another cross fizzed in there. Throw-in is the outcome. Thomas to take. Really good throw. Headed out for a corner. Can't really ask for much more on a throw-in from that position. Force the defense to make something happen. And they have to concede the corner. This is where Taj Moore has to make sure everyone is in the correct positioning. It's clipped towards the back stick and actually was more into the middle. It faded at the end. There was contact and a free kick goes the other way. Not the first time Julian Wade has mistimed it. There are actually 3 players for Dominica crashing in on the same ball, and well, that is really what ends up hurting them in the sequence. So we talked about the goals conceded. Goals scored. Antigua Barbuda, we mentioned it, lowest in the group with just 2. We have to double that margin today if they're going to get through. Dominica, and this is why they have the slight advantage at the moment. They've scored 6 goals in this group phase. The only problem is in some of those blowouts, they only managed to score once. 6-1 defeats against Bermuda and the DR during this group phase. Oh, lovely ball played in here. Oh, Prince with a gigantic save for Dominica inside of 15 minutes. That nearly put Antigua Barbuda within 1 goal of survival. It's brilliant build-up play. Little slip through for Dieterville. Massive save by the captain. That was the best chance for either side today in this match. That could have changed the entire complexion at the bottom of Group D. Pass out wide has too much air under it. It goes back to Antigua Barbuda. I would say that Antigua Barbuda are, well, many ways you could put it. In the ascendancy, they have some momentum, but it's really been back and forth. Both teams have had their fair share of opportunities in the opening 16 minutes. Kind of hard to tell who's going to grab the advantage here. That is going to bounce past everybody. Dominica are fine with that. It's a goal kick. Well, that man right now is the headline maker. That is a gigantic save from the captain, Glenson Prince, to keep Dominica on terms early. We mentioned it in the Antigua Barbuda defeat against Bermuda just 4 days ago. How important missed opportunities could turn out to be when you don't take your chances, especially early on. Could it be a sign of things to come? Well, Antigua Barbuda created the best chance to this point in the match, and well, that man and his staff got a huge save out of their goalkeeper. Neil Jeffers and company should be feeling confident and positive. They've been off to a great start, at least in the attack. But again, in games like this where campaigns are decided, seasons are decided in this Nations League almost and nearlies are not going to cut it. Got to make it happen, really, is the motto of the day. Not just in our first game, but in our second game as well, with Gold Cup places up for grabs between Bermuda and the Dominican Republic. We'll get to that, of course, later on in the evening. Look at the possession stats. They would tell you that Antigua and Barbuda have had the better of it. Successful passes, to be fair, also kind of backs that up. And on top of that, they've created the best opportunity. Well, it's pretty even, I would say, in half chances. And now an early ball played in behind here. Raheem Dennerville, he's in behind. Can he finish? Oh, Prince has done it again. He's furious with his defense, but the captain has bailed out his country a second time. He's also thwarted the same man twice. Dennerville again, it's one-on-one, and he picks the wrong side. I think even if he had beaten Prince, the shot was going to go wide anyway. Needed to put it back across the face of goal. And in the end, Prince comes up huge again. Corner is the outcome. Pereira goes to the near post. He'll have to take it a second time. What a little bit of miscommunication between the Dominica defenders here. Second try is headed away. A little coming together on the edge of the penalty area. A third attempt is headed down. It's headed wide. Oh. Now, another look. Chance after chance. At the moment, that was Cordes coming all the way up from the back and staying up after the corner. He tried to get his head to it. He did make contact, but it wasn't clean. Antigua and Barbuda, my goodness, how many close calls. Just in the first 20 minutes alone, they've had 3 or 4 really good chances. And remember, they have to score twice at a minimum to avoid relegation. And I will say this, on the back end, Dominica playing with fire. They've had to rely on their goalkeeping captain twice to bail them out. And to be fair, Glenson Prince has been up to the task. Pereira cutting in field, and maybe one too many touches, but it's not done yet. Griffith out wide. It's clipped into the center and it's easily cleared. Dominica back in possession, and they look to play it early. Up the other end, lovely ball in behind. Was there a little push in the back? Oh yes, there was. It's clever. It's a free kick. Julian Wade did ever so well, waited for the contact, knew we didn't have the numbers. And is it soft? Well, you could argue it is, but Julian Wade does really well. It's a professional job to give his side a breather defensively, and also to give them an opportunity at a set-piece chance up the other end. Troy Jules to take. Good shape on it, and it's headed down, it's headed wide. And it didn't come off a defender, it's a goal kick. Well, Troy Jules, this is exactly how you want to see a free kick delivered. And it was nudged forward. But in the end, it's just wide, and well, to be fair to Taj Moore, he did have his post covered. File it under, another half chance for Dominica, and they've had quite a few. pressure there, maybe too much pressure. And Marcus Bredas is going to win a free kick for Dominica. Good pressure from Daryl Massicott, who was briefly a hero last time out for Antigua and Barbuda. Almost got them back into the game in a real way, but they couldn't get the second goal. The only thing that'll frustrate Antigua and Barbuda so far is that they haven't finished their big chances. They've done so well. You've got to take those opportunities when you create them. Player stays down for Dominica. Antigua and Barbuda have no reason to stop. They're allowed to play on here. Looks like the player who was down, I believe, may still need some attention. And it's Troy Jules. Antigua and Barbuda, I think, realized that they were not able to create much from that situation, so then they finally kicked the ball out of play, although the referee was about to blow the whistle, I think. Either way. Ooh, and was the right leg maybe hyperextended there for Troy Jules? We don't want to get, obviously, too into the weeds there. Leave it to the professionals, but you can see how Troy Jules may have injured himself there. I think his right leg got sandwiched between the Antigua and Barbuda defender and the ground, and some concern. Ellington Sabin and his group don't want to lose a player as important as Troy Jules this early on. But there is Jules back up onto his feet. Hopefully he's okay. We talked about how Dominica nearly stole the show during some of their World Cup qualifiers. Troy Jules played a huge part in that. He's played a huge part in Dominica's success, just in general. I mentioned it earlier, Dominica actually started their time in the Nations League in League B. Then they quickly were relegated down to League C, where they stayed for 2 seasons, and then obviously for this campaign got promoted back to League B. And it's where they want to stay. That's what they're fighting for here. Stay in League B and get another chance at League A promotion in the next edition of the Nations League. Antigua and Barbuda, the story has been told, not just by me, but by others throughout this group phase. They've only known life in League B ever since the Nations League began back in 2019-2020. In their first 2 years in League B, they did put together a combined 6 wins during that stretch, but they stayed in League B during that time. They actually struggled quite a bit in last season's Nations League. 9 goals scored, 22 conceded. They only put together just 4 points, as they give up a free kick here in a dangerous position. Again, Antigua and Barbuda still managed to stay in League B. This has been the first season where for quite some time it's looked like they were really in bad shape to get relegated. And even now, as you look at the set piece they're going to have to defend, Wade brought down, they still have a chance to save themselves and put themselves back in League B for a 5th consecutive Nations League season. Could this be the first telling moment? From the free kick, it is fizzed over the top. Well, the technique, we mentioned it time and again. That was Troy Jules who missed the target. To get it over the wall or around the wall and in from that kind of range, well, it's easier said than done. It can be a very difficult technique to master. Even the best in the business at this beautiful game cannot get that down consistently from time to time. Meanwhile, Antigua Barbuda in possession. Have to say, it's been some of the best play we've seen from them all tournament. In possession, some of their teams build up and team connections have just been flawless at times. It's been the final touch that has just eluded them. And of course, Glenson Prince has literally had a hand in that. Oh, that was wonderful skill from Pereira. And he was held up and fouled. It's a free kick. Well, the referee came in quickly and, oh, it was a high forearm near the neck of Pereira. Well, didn't quite see that the first time. And again, the referee doesn't get to see the replays. There's no VAR, but my goodness. Surprised a card didn't come out. What will happen is we'll see another corner for Antigua Barbuda. Dominica are very fortunate that there isn't any VAR. If there was, we would have seen a review on that. Well, here we are, nearly half an hour gone. Another set-piece opportunity for Antigua Barbuda. Raheem Detterville has been summoned to be a part of it in some way, if not take it. And he will be swapped in to put the ball into play. One hour to play. It is going to be taken short. Detterville just fizzes one in there. It was a hopeful ball. Headed away, only as far as Francis. Francis keeps this alive, weaves between a couple of challenges. And on the edge of the penalty area, the shot is blasted, nearly on target, but in the end over the top off the boot of Bramble. Thomas James Bramble tried to score what would have been a spectacular goal here, and he was maybe a foot or two away from doing that. Prince was nearly beaten. I think if it was on target, he maybe gets fingertips to that. What a strike. But Bramble is a bit unfortunate not to hit the target. Out it goes for a Dominica throw. Well, there's the live table in Group D in League B. A draw would be just fine. For Dominica, they would stay in League B and avoid relegation down to League C. Dominica just need to avoid a multi-goal defeat to survive. For Antigua Barbuda in the live scenario, all they would get is a consolation point. They would be relegated down to League C for the first time in the country's Nations League history. They have to score 2 goals without reply, or Neil Jeffers' side are going down. Dominica looking to burst forward themselves on this far side. There's no numbers to work with, at least not yet, and now they give the ball away. Antigua Barbuda look to go up the other end, and they'll settle for a throw-in just on the right side of midfield. Now there's red shirts over on this near side. Dennerville has time and space. Francis on the near side from Drew. Oh, Francis into the middle. It pinballs around. And then it's popped up into the air and out of play. Again, it's brilliant build-up. Francis puts the ball in, and it was a high boot to try to knock it down. It actually helped Antigua Barbuda nearly create a chance that they saw fly over the top and into the seats. The chances just keep on coming for both teams. We've had an abundance of opportunities in this first half, particularly for Antigua and Barbuda. They just have not been able to take full advantage. Can Dominica take advantage up the other end here? Sliding challenge to try to cross it, I think, into the middle. Not entirely sure if that was the aim. It's cleared away. Well, again, it really is at this stage in the competition, do or die. There's no more games to come after this. Well, at least not for these two. We will have the Dominican Republic against Bermuda following the conclusion of our first game. Those two teams are fighting it out for League A promotion and, of course, for an automatic bid right into the Gold Cup group stage as well. Although I must say, Bermuda are in very, very good shape to at least make it to the Gold Cup prelims. Free kick for Antigua and Barbuda here. Look, this was Drew, hacked down. Held the ball up nicely in the end. Well, the whistle again is blown, and with 10 minutes left in the half, let's look at the challenge on Massacot. It's going to be another chance maybe from a set piece, and again, a little bit of a lack of communication between the Dominica defenders there. That looked like it had a chance to bounce out of play, and it could have been a goal kick. Instead, it's headed out of play by Maxime, and it's going to be a corner. You've seen Glenson Prince and a few other of the defenders for Dominica not exactly happy with the way they've been communicating so far. Chested down on the edge of the penalty area, but Dennerville not able to take on the shot. It was cleared away. And then Bramble trying to get back onto it. And then the header sees Dominica regain possession. Prosper. On the near side it goes, and well, Maxime was dragged down by Francis. Again, it's worth reiterating, the more that Antigua and Barbuda prolong, let's say, scoring the first goal, the more life and confidence that's going to give to Dominica, because they just have to avoid conceding twice, and they're through. Doesn't really matter other than that. And by through, I mean they're safe. And they might have a goal here. Oh, it comes off the post. Julian Wade coming within inches of putting Dominica towards safety. It hits flush off the very front of the post. That's the closest Dominica have come, and actually it may have come off of Cordes, the defender. I'm not sure Wade got a touch. Dominica keep on pressing. It looks like they'll have a corner upcoming. Julian Wade had a couple of opportunities that he dragged wide earlier. He nearly made something happen a moment ago. One goal for Dominica, and they could be very close to League B safety. They're not able to get it from there. Dominica, if they could score once, then force Antigua and Barbuda to score more goals than the total amount that they've scored to this point in the entirety of the group stage. That's what one goal could do there. That's why we said earlier why the first goal is so important. If Antigua and Barbuda score it, they just need one more. And that, you would think, would put a ton of pressure on Dominica down the stretch. The momentum of a goal cannot be overstated here. Again, we've seen Prince bail out Dominica, and now we've seen the post bail out Antigua and Barbuda. We've had three now combined between the two teams. Extremely close calls. Troy Jules is saying he should have been given a free kick there. Well, doesn't get his wish. And Francis tried to pull out the magic tricks there, but there was a foul before that happened. I think it's Brielle Thomas who's been given a yellow card here for the first challenge in this sequence. A little push in the back on Drew. Well, I think maybe Ellington Sabin would argue that that was a foul, but maybe not a yellow card-worthy challenge based on how the referees called it so far, but a yellow card it is. So Thomas is gonna have to be careful. Moving forward, it's the only yellow card we've seen in 40 minutes of play. More up ahead. Well, Griffith had time to turn, and here's Drew on the near side. Drew looking for Francis. And Francis, he's going to be kept out of the picture. It's a goal kick. It's maybe one of the better defensive moments for Dominica in the half. They have been a bit all over the place at times, but that man has helped them out immensely. Hansen Prince made sure it stayed at 0-0, made 2 saves to deny Raheem Detterville on both occasions at point-blank range. And off the ricochet, Dominica hit the post just a few minutes ago. Just a throw in here for Dominica, no free kick. Final few minutes plus stoppages left in the half. Two teams trying to avoid League C relegation. And the decision's going to go the other way here. Well, it's because the arm was extended by Travis Joseph. He had some words for some of the Antigua and Barbudan players on his way back. Based on the replay evidence there, I'm not entirely sure why he was upset. It was a pretty clear foul. Cannot extend your arm like that. Good attempt at trying to switch the play. onto this near side, but Dominica forced to reset all the way back. Well, again, Antigua and Barbuda have it covered. That was Drew cleaning it up. Bramble on the turn. Ooh, that ball was poked ahead, nearly slithered through. Again, the interplay, but it breaks down. And Dominica emerge with possession, and they have a chance to leak out on this far side. They don't have the numbers, but they could have the opportunity here. A couple of lovely cutbacks. Oh, and the shot is blocked. But it is going to go out for a corner. Troy Jules does exceptionally well here. Feints to go right, ends up cutting back to his right. It was very impressive skill. Corner is the outcome after Troy Jules shows off his skill. But can his team find what would be a massive goal for their hopes of staying in League B? They do get a head onto it. It's a free volley. Moore makes the save. Taj Moore with a gigantic moment. Francis up the other end for Antigua and Barbuda. Francis shoots, and Prince comfortably catches. End-to-end stuff again. Another good ball in. It was headed down. It was volleyed. Ooh, and it was actually blocked by Roneba Cordes, the defender, thwarting Eustace Marshall at the far post, hands on heads. And then Antigua and Barbuda nearly brought it all the way back up the other end. And after great work from Dan and Francis, he did get the shot away, only for Glenson Prince to come up with a pretty comfortable stop. After the dust settles, a player down here for Antigua and Barbuda is Detterville. And then after that, we're going to wait to see how much stoppage time there's going to be at the end of this electrifying first half of Nations League play in League B. Here's where we think that Detterville maybe got hurt. Tough to tell if there was any contact there, and those non-contact injuries, they'll always tell you, the coaches and medical staff, are the most dangerous at times. If he was clipped, it was very faintly. As Detterville gets back to his feet, which is a great sign, we jump into 2 added minutes at the end of the half. Detterville told to get back on the pitch as the ball's in play. He was trying to take an extra sip of water. Detterville is back on, number 7 in red. And Dominica creates something here. Attempted a give and go, doesn't quite work out. Antigua and Barbuda pinned a bit here in their own corner, but they do manage to play their way out. Final seconds of the half. Good switch of play onto this near side, but Francis with a poor touch. Bramble tries to head it back to him. And Dominica settled down the situation for a moment, but now they give the ball away. Not once, but twice. But the challenge on the shoulder-to-shoulder contact was deemed to be too much by Bramble. Free kick for Dominica, bails them out. They had it covered. I should amend my last statement, but they nearly made a mess out of that. Can Dominica land a late first half punch here? Or will Antigua and Barbuda be able to move this forward? Ball in behind here. And Detterville, again, not quite able to take the ball with him. The foul goes Dominica's way. And the half is going to end there here in the Dominican Republic. Well, to say that there were chances in that first half would not be doing it justice. Both teams came within a whisker of taking complete control of their own destiny. But we stay at even going into the second half. Somehow there were no goals. We saw the post hit, a couple of 1v1 saves from the goalkeepers, a couple of last-second blocks from the defenders as well. Drama-packed with relegation going to the potential loser of this one. So much on the line for both of these teams to try to keep their League B status in the Concacaf Nations League. At the half in the DR, it's Antigua Barbuda 0, Dominica 0.
En Instagram y Facebook y @C_National_League en Instagram.
Cristian, ven, Cristian. Dale, compadre, no hay problema con
Now moments away from the start of the second half here. Concacaf Nations League, League B, Group D action here in the Dominican Republic. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew. 45 minutes to go in our first of two today. And it is 0-0 between Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica. That result right now would assure, as the second half kicks off here, that Dominica are safe. They would stay in League B for another season. For the first time in Antigua and Barbudan's Nations League history, to be more precise, they would be relegated to League C. And the early stages of the second half begin with a cross, a deflection, and a corner for Antigua and Barbuda after the work from Dan and Francis. Again, just to reset the table for you here, if you will, Antigua and Barbuda have to win the match, and they have to win it by multiple goals if they are to take third place away from Dominica. Any other result, essentially, in Dominica's favor would be enough for them to clinch third position and stay in League B. Heavy challenge comes in there, but it was deemed to be fair. And the service back into the penalty area had too much on it. It's a goal kick. Another look. And it was a clean challenge in the end. Malachi Bonney gets the ball and did take a little bit of Pereira with him, but referee deemed it to be clean in the end. And I think he was right on that. Of course, the big reason we're still scoreless, the man you just saw a moment ago, Glenson Prince, the captain and goalkeeper for Dominica, has kept his side with a first half clean sheet on level terms so far. But to be fair, Taj Moore and Roneba Cordes, they've made some big defensive interventions for Antigua and Barbuda to this point as well. It does look like the teams are unchanged going into this second half. That is so important. It's going to be pivotal, really, for both of these sides. And not to get overly dramatic, but we'll say this because it's true after Thomas was tripped up here. Two respective Nations League campaigns for these two countries comes down to this second half. It really does. League B status is what these two countries are fighting for down the stretch. Was there a trip up there? Ellington Sabin, the coach for Dominica, and his staff were asking the referee for a free kick there. Handball appeals come in as well. Both of them go unanswered by our referee. Throw in for Antigua and Barbuda. And Thomas is still down after the last challenge from a few moments ago. We'll get the luxury of a second look. I think the referee may have missed that one. Again, the game is played at such a brisk pace. You have to sometimes give the referees the benefit of the doubt on some of those challenges. It's also tough to tell from his vantage point on that handball appeal. That was right in front of Ellington Sabin and his technical area, and the coach is not exactly pleased with those last two decisions. I think you could tell by his facial reactions there. Of course, part of the wry smiles and the sarcasm is the fact that Riel Thomas could very well have been hurt by that challenge, and he's having a slow and steady walk off to this near side technical area to be looked at further, and Dominica will stay at 10 men for now. But it quickly levels back up as far as personnel is concerned. Thomas is on. That ball is just about kept in play. Dennerville and company keeping this going for Bramble. Cordes. Well, near side, Morgan. Morgan's ball in is going to fall for an opportunity, and there's a slip inside the penalty area. And And the chance goes begging again for Antigua Barbuda. There's Daryl Massicott, who continues to fight for possession here. And it will go against him. The decision goes Dominica's way. Well, Massicott slipped just a moment ago. He tried to cut it back onto his left. And he follows up here, but he's pulling the shirt. And, well, he's fortunate not to pick up a yellow card for that. Bramble's touch for Griffith. Oh, and this is going to slide through. Antigua Barbuda are in, and Prince has done it again to Detterville. My goodness. Those two have gone eyeball to eyeball 3 times now. Glenson Prince has saved it from him 3 times in a row. Detterville 1v1, and for a 3rd consecutive time, the captain comes up clutch. Detterville denied a 3rd time at point-blank range by the Dominica goalkeeper. Now, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. Detterville, oh, it nearly gets past him. It's the trailing leg of Prince that clips it out of play for a corner. My goodness. The finest of fine margins. The only downside to Prince making the save is he may have injured himself in the process. How unlucky is Raheem Detterville. 2 of them in particular were fabulous stops by Prince. And Antigua and Barbuda are still 2 goals away from their needed outcome. Detterville could have very easily have had a hat trick before 52 minutes had been played. Glenson Prince, he's been the hero of the hour for Dominica, and he's the reason they're still on course to stay in League B for next season's Nations League. The big question now is, can he continue? Another look at this fabulous stop. Point-blank range, Prince gets it done. Detterville falls down in disbelief after the shot was saved, and then, ooh, actually, he may have actually clipped Prince without meaning to there on the follow-through. Great look at that by our camera crew. And Prince may need to be stretchered off here. Oh, this could be a really big concern for Dominica. Jerome Burkhardt is getting set to come on here, it looks like. Well, this could put Dominica in a very precarious spot. Their captain, their talisman today, may have to be withdrawn with still 30 minutes and a lot more time after that, you'd think, to come. Jerome Burkhardt is going to come on here. It looks like he's handed in the card that you need to hand to the 4th official to make the substitution official. Glenson Prince, he's really the main reason that Dominica are on course to stay in League B, and his day is done in the 54th minute. Jerome Burkhardt is on officially here. Glenson Prince, my goodness, tough to see his day end like this. He's been wonderful. But he's gone now, has to worry about his health and try to get better for future windows ahead. Jerome Burkhardt is on, and he hopes that his backup goalkeeper, Ellington Sabin, can continue this strong performance between the sticks. From the corner, it's going to be headed away. Well, That substitution alone could be a game changer here. It's clipped back into the middle. Dominica are able to clear it out of the penalty area. It's clipped back into the 18-yard box. Oh, the goalkeeper came for it, Burkhardt. Massacot follows up, but Dominica play their way out. Wade up ahead. Antigua and Barbuda are going to reset with Moore. Oh, and Moore's pass nearly came up short. But Antigua and Barbuda play their way through. Quentin Griffith up ahead. Chance to maybe cross it. And Antigua and Barbuda win another corner. Well, I'm sure Neil Jeffers has already passed along the message. If you get a chance, test out the new goalkeeper. And see if you can maybe find a hole or two and get within a goal of staying in the league. Jerome Burkhardt now has to be the one to get Dominica over the line into safety. Ellington Sabin had two goalkeepers to choose from, Dante Newton and Jerome Burkhardt. He's chosen Burkhardt here. Will it become a big storyline? From the corner. Oh, it was right at goal. And it's headed out for another corner. Cordes flicked it on, but it took a deflection back out. It was off the defender that was just behind it. Burkhardt completely missed it. It never got to him. That was another close call. Added to the long list. Near side corner to come. Whoa, and a coming together inside the penalty area. Pushing and shoving ensues. Bramble was bundled over. It's still kicking off. Well, Dominica are a bit fortunate here that the ball had not been put into play. And the dust still hasn't settled yet. The ball had been put into play. We could have been looking at a penalty here. Oh, there is still a fiery exchange between the two players. Bottom of the 6-yard box where you need to look. Oh, and it's a dive. Goodness gracious. Thomas James Bramble just throws himself to the ground here. Well, that's why Dominica are upset. Bramble was looking to get the referee to pull out a card there. Brielle Thomas, who, by the way, is on a yellow card here, should not be getting involved in anything like that. And I think in the end, it's good refereeing. Nothing for either side, but another moment like that, and the referee might be forced to have to pull out a card. Play acting from Bramble, to say the least. From the corner, again, Dominica tried to head it away. It's sent back towards the 6-yard box, and it's cleared. A hopeful ball placed back into the penalty area, and again Dominica are able to send it ahead. But now Detterville has it on the near side. Detterville flashes it across, and again, Dominica get ahead onto it. Detterville keeps the ball in play. Pirouettes around the first challenge. Tries to slice through the second one, but Wade and company are able to clear it, and Detterville follows through. It's a free kick. Another look, Detterville, oh, he leaves his right leg in there. Clear-cut decision. Again, the referee has had a few tough moments to try to sort out these last few minutes and has done wonderfully well. And if you're wondering how Glenson Prince is doing, he's having a very tough time there, putting weight onto his right leg. So tough to see that. Been absolutely phenomenal today for Dominica, but the last 30 minutes, his teammates are gonna have to pull through for him. Brielle Thomas is now wearing the captain's armband with Glenson Prince. on the sidelines for the rest of this one. Remember, we still have the Dominican Republic against Bermuda to come with Gold Cup qualification at stake, along with League A promotion up for grabs. And it's a misplaced pass up ahead. Detterville sends it out of play for a throw-in to Dominica as we are ticking towards the hour mark. 30 minutes to go. If this result holds, remember, Dominica will just about keep their League B status, and Antigua and Barbuda would be relegated for the first time down to League C. But one goal could change it. Good skill by Morgan. Here's Francis. Francis is forced back. Bramble sends it out to the far side. More encouraging build-up play from Antigua and Barbuda. And it's sent into the middle. It could be a chance here for Francis. He was not able to keep it in play. Goal kick is the outcome. Card gets his side back on the front foot. When all the chips are down, when you're playing the game that's going to decide everything, you just never quite know what's going to happen. And the only thing this game has been missing is a goal. We have had oodles and oodles of drama already. Marcus Bredas there is getting some brief medical assistance on his wrapped wrist. Ooh, and the decision's going to go against Wade, who then tries to put an elbow up towards Cordes. And now he's acting as if Cordes was the one who instigated that. Now Julian Wade is trying his best to rile up some of the Antiguan Barbudan players. After, frankly, that's exactly what Bramble was trying to do to Dominica just a few minutes up the other end. Maybe we didn't see the full picture there, but it looked like Wade tried to put an elbow up to Cordes and then acted as if Cordes was the one who tried to mess with him. Sometimes you wonder if the players realize that these games are being broadcasted. We can see when those things happen. Griffith. This is Cordes playing it down the near side. It's actually a poor pass, and it's a giveaway. The ball from Wade is also not well placed. Ends up being given back to Antigua and Barbuda. It's actually well defended by Quentin Griffith. Able to stifle Troy Jules, who's come the closest to scoring for Dominica. Another poor giveaway. But it wasn't a great touch, and Dominica are not able to take advantage. Can Antigua and Barbuda bring this up the other end? Heavy challenge, but it's clean on Detterville. Throw-in is the outcome as Jamal Prosper got it just about right. More resets for Bramble. Griffith couldn't move it forward, but still keeps his country in possession. And throw-in is the outcome on the near side. Well, the situation is becoming clearer and clearer. Antigua and Barbuda need to score 2 goals or they will be relegated. And they might get one here. Oh, Dennerville. It somehow doesn't fall for him again. Wonderful ball in by Antonio Morgan. Dennerville misses his header, and that nearly fell right back to him. But luckily for Dominica, Jerome Bricard was able to get on top of it first. 25 minutes remaining plus stoppage time. Another ball sliced through, but again, Dominica do enough defensively. They play the outlet looking for Troy Jules. And Jules keeps it in play, just about. And then he's quickly dispossessed. And then commits a foul on the back end. He's going to be booked, Troy Jules. Went through the back of Morgan. Oh, look, Morgan has this one, and oh, it's a very clumsy challenge. It looked like a striker's challenge from Troy Jules. Got it completely wrong here. Went right through the back of Morgan's legs. Once again, we have to give a tip of the cap to Timothy Derry, our referee. Got another one there, spot on. Still a game that could kind of get out of hand from the mental side of it. And our head official from Trinidad and Tobago is doing everything he can to keep it as civil as possible here, making sure it doesn't bubble over. Bramble spinning to keep it going and then volleying as well. But he could not keep it down, to say the least. It goes into the trees and it's out of play. Nearly scored a wonderful goal in the first half, Bramble. His second half's been defined by his dive, really, in the opposition penalty area, trying to coax a card out of the referee, but went for goal there, and Ricard wasn't interested. To be fair, Antigua and Barbuda have not tested Jerome Bricard since he's come in place of their captain Prince, and then it's another clumsy challenge, and then the ball was kicked away. Dennerville brought down. The reason that the Antiguan Barbudan bench was upset was because Bredas just kicked the ball away, and well, we're seeing referees more and more give yellow cards for that. Whistle had long since gone. Bredas given the benefit of the doubt, it appears. Griffith, rare miscued pass from him. Throw in for Dominica. Getting close to the final 20 minutes here. Again, if the score stays like this, Dominica are safe. They're going to stay in League B. Antigua and Barbuda would be relegated to League C. Griffith helped out. It's played back to Taj Moore. Oh, that's a takeaway. Dominica have a 3-on-2 here, and it's just wide. Oh, Taj Moore keeps Antigua and Barbuda's hopes of staying in League B alive. It's a terrible giveaway. Oh, and Moore gets fingertips on this shot by Wade. Biggest moment to date in the match. Taj Moore's touch keeps Antigua and Barbuda's hopes alive. Julian Wade, nearly, I should say, sealed safety for Dominica. And now Quentin Griffith is the one who's down here. That's one of the rare moments in this game where Antigua and Barbuda sort of reverted back to some of their earlier group stage problems. Inviting pressure, not being decisive, giving the ball away high up the field. And they were nearly punished, but Taj Moore's elastic save, he used every bit of his frame to get to it, keeps them alive. There was the challenge. There might have been some contact on the follow-through, but the ball was won cleanly. And then Wade was not able to score what would have been a huge goal. Now some changes in the offing here. Troy Jules is actually going to come out here. Savio Anselm, I think, is going to take his place. Jules frustrated to come out early here. Odell Laville is also on. So a double change. It's the first two changes we've seen in the match. For a big corner is to be taken by the man who just came on, Anselm. So Laville and Anselm come on. Oh, and Chad Bertrand is also trying to come on here as well. Might be a triple change here. Bertrand is allowed to come on before the corner is taken. We did not see the subs board go up there. So we'll await full confirmation, but we know the three players who are on for Dominica: Anselm, Laville, and Bertrand. Antigua Barbuda now want to get a change in during this sub window as well. They're going to be told they have to wait, I think, at least for now. Keon Green is the player they're trying to get on here. Is the referee going to allow the change to be made? Well, yes, ends up being the answer. Keon Green is on. Daryl Massicott is off. One change for them, Antigua Barbuda, that is. 3 for Dominica. 18 minutes to go. The corner is fizzed in there, wow. Really good ball in, but no touch to really be definitive there from Dominica. It's placed back in, oh, it actually nearly fell for a chance, but the offside flag goes up. That was Laville, who just came on. He was caught offside, well done by the assistant. And the attack ends there for Dominica, who are trying to put this away. And again, for those just joining us, Antigua Barbuda at times today have actually been playing their best we've seen from the entire Nations League campaign. But they have just not been able to take any of their chances. It leaves Neil Jeffers and his side with 17 minutes left to score 2 goals without letting any in. The big storyline of the match, the since departed Glenson Prince denying Raheem Detterville on 3 separate occasions when he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. That's been the difference in the match, really. Well, to be fair, Taj Moore just came up with a huge stop to deny Julian Wade before that substitution window. A goal that would have essentially ended any chance of Antigua Barbuda staying in League B. You would think at this stage any goal from Dominica would seal the deal. And they're going to get a chance to score that goal. It's played down the near side. Early ball into the penalty area. Flies out of play. That was a bit of a waste. That was Savio Anselm, who could have actually taken up more of the space before putting his cross in, and ends up going out of play. Chance to poke that ball down the line. Throw in is the outcome. And as we tick down towards 15 minutes to play, another substitution. Dennerville, unfortunately, is not going to get his goal. He's going to come out. And DeAndre Bishop, who started the last game, is on as a substitute here. And he has 15 minutes to make an impact. Another poor giveaway here. Drew will let it go out of play. It's a throw-in. Dominica have had to ride their luck a little bit in this one. Their goalkeeper, since departed, is the reason they're still in a comfortable position for now. But one goal, and they could be in big trouble. That ball is fizzed in there. Oh, it's palmed away by Bricard. Out for a throw-in to Antigua Barbuda. Ooh, or is it? Oh, the assistant's been overruled by the head official. The assistant referee, who actually had a better look at it, gave it. Well, he gave it to Antigua Barbuda. The confusion continues here. He gave it to Antigua Barbuda. The head official overruled him not once but twice. They were not on the same page. Antigua Barbuda took the throw anyway, and then the assistant had to correct them a second time. After all that, Dominica can't keep possession anyway, and Tajmor resets for Antigua Barbuda. Morgan pinging one up ahead. There's a collision, and it's a free kick. And it's taken quickly. Antigua Barbuda allowed to continue on. Can they make the most of it? No, they can't. Well, Dominica are incensed that the referee allowed the free kick to just be taken like that. And it's DeAndre Bishop, his first major touch since coming on, and he flashes it wide of the target. And now it's a long-distance effort to try to catch out Tajmor, and it's a goal kick. Well, what haven't we seen? Well, if you haven't filled out your Nations League bingo card by now, you haven't been watching the match. It's been one of the more thrilling 0-0s we've seen in the Nations League. Here is Bishop trying to change that. And Bishop is nudged off of it. Dominica have the possession once more. Despite so many heart-in-mouth moments and just bucket loads of drama, Dominica are still in pole position here somehow. They have 12 minutes to see it out. Cross into the middle is not well placed. But Dominica make a mess out of clearing it, and they get a bit fortunate. They're able to win the ball back. Now we're starting to see some tired legs and tired minds here. Can someone rise above the chaos and become a hero? It's floated over to this near side. Anselm's early ball in. And Tajmor is able to shepherd it out for a goal kick. That was a better early ball from Anselm. He nearly picked somebody out. Cleared upfield. It's nudged down, but it was handled on the control. And Bishop gives it right back to Dominica as we tick down towards the final 10 minutes here. Are Antigua and Barbuda, after all their trying, all their great attempts, are they going to end up leaving here with not just a first relegation, in the Nations League, but without a goal either. They've certainly deserved one. The Dominica defense has been just about up to the task. Quentin Griffith is trying to continue to keep the faith and keep motivating his group. There's still 10 minutes for them to save their status in League B. Another throw-in for Dominica. Wouldn't be surprised, considering Dominica are essentially in the driver's seat with a 2-goal lead on goal differential. Wouldn't be surprised if they started to try to take the sting out of the game here. Ellington Saban, just saw a look at him. He doesn't look too satisfied either. And from the throw, it's caught by Taj Moore. Moore will outlet it to Quentin Griffith. Francis back to Griffith. Griffith's early ball is headed out of danger. Anselm, lovely touch. Ball in behind wasn't half bad either, but Moore is on the cover. 9 minutes to go. Again, as it stands, Dominica will finish in third. They're safe from relegation. Antigua and Barbuda need to score twice. Griffith. It's played out to the far side, and cross is going to be headed down. Out for a throw. And the reason that Antigua and Barbuda need to score twice, they could obviously help out the goal differential, but goals scored is something they have to worry about as well. Eight minutes left, a goal, and Antigua and Barbuda will have a chance at safety. It's that fine of a margin. If Dominica scores, it's all essentially a moot point. Changes are going to be made here. Try to get Dominica over the line. It's still on a knife edge here. Joseph, he's going to make way. And with 7 minutes to go, he will be replaced by Dante Warrington. Can Antigua and Barbuda win the match and potentially save themselves from relegation? Ooh, that's a heavy challenge. Free kick for Dominica. And a yellow card for Drew. First player for Antigua and Barbuda to be booked in this game.
Damas y caballeros, tarjeta amarilla le fue mostrada al jugador marcado con el número 2 de Antigua y Barbuda, Safir Pool, en el minuto 84.
The Drew yellow card is confirmed. 6 minutes plus stoppage time left. Any goal scored now could be definitive. From the free kick. Oh, it's fizzed in there. But it goes against the side netting, and it's out for a goal kick. Delaville tried to become the hero for Dominica. Was there a late challenge? Yes, referee waited for a possible advantage. Bramble brought down. Free kick. Antigua and Barbuda have 5 minutes now to save their League B lives. 1 goal, and everything changes. It's won back by Morgan, but Morgan is quickly dispossessed. And Dominica looked to bring it up the other end, but it was a hopeful through ball. And again, they're dispossessed. Oh, a chance here on the near side. It stayed in play. Cross is blocked and cleared. Huge defensive intervention there. Dominica will get a chance to reset defensively going into the final 4 minutes of the 90. Bramble really gave Antigua and Barbuda the lead in the first half. Remember, the DR and Bermuda still to come in our second game. In that game, Bermuda will have to win, and they'll have to win by a few goals if they are to catch the Dominican Republic. We'll get to that after the business is done here in our first game. The fact that there's only a goal in this down the stretch could make for a drama-filled ending here, and that took a deflection. Burkhardt is going to take charge of the scene. Use up as many seconds as he's allowed here for Dominica. Hasn't really been tested since coming on as a substitute in the second half for his captain, Glenson Prince, who's the big reason right now Dominica are still safe. And then a poor challenge at the back has given Dominica a free kick, and they can use up more of the time. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures here. Another change for Antigua and Barbuda. Dion Pereira is out. Jairzinho Ogaro will take his place. Just the second change that Neil Jeffers has made. Dominica have 1 change still to use if they want to. Really, they want to use up the clock when Antigua and Barbuda are actually trying to get 2 more players on. They still have 3 changes they can make, and they're going to use a couple of them up here. Antonio Morgan is out. Tyrick Hughes is on. I want to make another one here. Well, they've got it mixed up on the subs board here. Francis is coming out, number 4. And Javorn Stevens nearly scored the other day against Bermuda a couple of times. He's on to try to be a late hero for Antigua and Barbuda here. Owen from the set piece. It's a tame effort, caught by Moore. And we are into the 90th minute. Somehow, we still haven't seen a goal. Is that gonna change right at the end? The other big question is how much stoppage time is there going to be? Goal kick is the decision here. Antigua and Barbuda, ooh, maybe it's a free kick. Referee pointed for a goal kick, but it's been amended. How much stoppage time is there going to be? Antigua and Barbuda are the ones that have to score, but if they do, they could just about save themselves. They'll get a free kick, and we'll get a stoppage time update. Keon Green taken out. Heavy challenge. Oh, and there's going to be 6 added minutes to go. That's about as good of a news as Antigua and Barbuda could have hoped for here. From the free kick, it's Griffith. Headed out of the penalty area. Oh, there was a foul. Dominica actually could have gotten advantage out of that. The referee stopped it. Thomas needed help and Maxime as well. Dominica, in some ways, are probably fine with giving players a chance to recover, but also it gives them an opportunity to use up more clock through the free kick. And well, second examination there, it didn't look like there was a foul. But in some ways, that actually hurts Antigua and Barbuda. More time comes off the clock. That ball's headed back to Moore. He's able to reset. 4 minutes and change left for Dominica to hold on to their third place spot. Oh, and that ball out of play is not going to help the cause. Antigua and Barbuda. Dominica move it down the field and potentially move closer to League B safety. Can they keep it at this end and run out the clock? Well, they tried their best. They did use up a decent amount of valuable seconds there. Antigua and Barbuda have to get this upfield. 3 minutes to save themselves. Whistle will stop the sequence. It's a free kick. 3 minutes left. Drew. Hopeful ball in. Oh, the goalkeeper spills it. And then it is cleared away. Now that's why Antigua and Barbuda really from the start needed to test the backup goalkeeper. His first real test, and he nearly spilled it into the path of an opposition player, and now Prosper is in need of a moment of time. Another look. Burkhardt comes off of his line, thinks he's going to get it, and completely spills it. Wasn't much contact either, and he's lucky that Prosper was able to clear that away. Has to be stronger there. Backup goalkeeper, and he nearly put his team in a very, very difficult position. 2 minutes. Hopeful ball into the penalty area, headed away. And Dominica clear it with a minute and a half left, and maybe a little bit more time after that, but that's up to the referee. You just check the watch again. Antigua and Barbuda have to score. And that is not going to help the situation. Bishop was not able to get anywhere near it. And a throw-in will allow the clock to tick down inside of the final minute of stoppage time, scheduled at least. One back by Griffith. Can the captain spark a late moment? Hopeful ball into the penalty area. First time ball into the middle. Bishop couldn't get anything on it that was definitive. Kept alive by Cordes. Oh, and then Cordes just sends it out of play. Didn't make up his mind. And that might be that. Burkhardt's going to use up the last 10 seconds of the minimum of 6. Then it's up to the referee if we're going to have more time after that. It's cleared away, and that is full time in the Dominican Republic. Dominica holds on to third place in Group D here in League B. This draw is enough to keep them in League B for next season's Nations League. And Antigua and Barbuda, who needed to score, they had to find a moment. They came so close. They settled for their lone point in the group, and it's not enough to keep them in League B for another season. For the first time in the country's history, Antigua and Barbuda are relegated to League C, and they're left to rue all of their missed opportunities, really mostly from the first half, but even a few in the second half as well. Dominica, who definitely played with fire, make no mistake about that, they do just about enough, and they make it through with a 0-0 draw here, and they finish on 4 points in total to finish in third place in the group and maintain their League B status for a second consecutive season. We will have Dominican Republic against Bermuda to come in our second game. They'll have quite the match to follow up here. This was a drama-filled game, pretty much from start to finish. The only thing it didn't end up having was a goal, and that was to the detriment of Antigua and Barbuda in the end. Well, catch your breath as we go back through the full-time highlights from this one, our first of 2 today in League B in the Concacaf Nations League. And it began with a Julian Wade opportunity. He rounded the goalkeeper, but was not able to hit the target. That actually could have been a moment that pretty early on put Antigua and Barbuda firmly behind the 8 ball and could have buried their chances of avoiding relegation. But that actually spurred Antigua and Barbuda on. Glenson Prince, the captain who started the game in goal for Dominica, he's really the hero in the end. He saved 3 separate 1v1s with Raheem Detterville when Detterville got in behind, face-to-face with the goalkeeper 3 separate times. He made all of the saves. Wade there forces the ricochet off the post. And in the end, Dominica certainly had a few missed chances to look back on themselves in this match. That was definitely high on the list from the first half. More of the same early in the second half. There's no question about this probably being the definitive moment. Detterville getting in behind Prince. It was his last act of the match, making the save. He was hurt in the process, had to leave the game with an injury, but that was the closest Antigua and Barbuda would come throughout the 90 minutes. Prince, the captain, making the definitive save of the match. And then Burkhardt came on and had to make a couple of, well, really just settling the situation down kind of saves. Not really anything massive, but he did his job, the backup goalkeeper in the end, to keep Dominica alive. And then here, This was the big chance from Taj Moore, who made the save and kept Antigua and Barbuda's hopes alive. Griffith dispossessed, and then this was a chance for Dominica to seal the deal. Wade thwarted by Taj Moore. Magnificent stop, and really that was one of the big chances of the game. Dominica hold on, just about. They stay in League B, while Antigua and Barbuda are relegated to League C. Full-time stats, and again, it was a game that was not short on opportunities. It combined 11 shots on target, and on top of that, we had 22 shots on target. I should say 21 shots on target in total. In the end, no goals. 21 shots, 11 on target. Antigua and Barbuda almost had 70% of the possession. Not enough. Dominica stay in League B. Antigua and Barbuda are relegated. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll have the Dominican Republic and Bermuda coming up in just a few moments with League A status and Gold Cup status up for grabs. We'll see you then in just about an hour.